Ladies and gentlemen, something extremely important is happening right now on the planet Earth. Something that you and all of your family members and friends must hear and be aware of, and do anything possible to be part of what is happening for the future of our children, our grandchildren, and the water for all of humanity is at great stakes. Right now, the prophecies of the Hopi and Lakota Indians are beginning to come into fruition. Please, I beg of you, listen up. Both the Hopi and the Lakota prophecies are almost identical in the predictions that were made thousands of years by their elders. It is number 8 of 9 prophecies by both the Hopi and the Lakota Indians that is happening right now at this exact moment in time. And even though neither of these Indian tribes communicated with each other, their prophecies are eerily similar. Number 8 of the Lakota and Hopi prophecies go much like this. The Zezeska So, or the Black Snake, will come and attempt to cross our river into our land. The 7 tribes must come together to defeat the Black Snake. If the 7 tribes fail and the Black Snake succeeds in crossing the river, it will mark off the end of the world. I don't know about you all, but I take the prophecies of the native Indians very, very seriously. Let me remind you that the last prophecy that has been fulfilled by the native Hopi prophecy goes like this. You will hear of the sea turning black and many living things dying because of it. Sound a little familiar? Like the spill of millions of gallons of crude oil going into the Gulf of Mexico, absolutely desecrating all of the Gulf of Mexico with its nasty crude oil, killing the fish and the entire ecosystem, which was thriving for millions of years until the greedy oil companies decided to begin digging there, in turn destroying the Gulf of Mexico and the livelihoods of millions of people who depend on it. The Black Snake is a $3.8 billion project. Dakota Access Pipeline, which is planned to carry over 570,000 barrels of crude oil each day from North Dakota down through Illinois across sacred native Indian burial grounds. And who will it benefit? The oil companies and their investors, of course. The pipeline is set to go beneath the Missouri River, which is one of the largest aquifers in the world and provides drinking water for more than 18 million people. It will also cross sacred treaty lands belonging to the native Indians. After several months of protest by native Indians and environmentalists, where the Standing Sioux tribe will challenge the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to withdraw its approval of the project, the $3.8 billion Dakota Access Pipeline was partially halted. The company Energy Transfer halted construction at the protest ahead of upcoming hearings in federal court. That only came after the Dakota Access Pipeline security began sicking dogs on native people and protesters, along with spraying them with mace and pepper spray. Not to mention more response from local police in North Dakota, who came in armored vehicles dressed as if they were about to go to war, carrying bully clubs, full armor, loud sirens to deter protesters, along with 5-gallon containers of mace pepper spray. North Dakota has responded by arresting hundreds of people and declaring a state of emergency. Authorities also stooped to the level of removing the camp's water supply. But nevertheless, people continue to arrive at the protest camp. In an unprecedented show of unity, in the largest native Indian mobilization in almost 150 years, over 60 tribes are on the ground. the cause has reunited the Great Sioux Nation. More than 200 tribes and First Nations signed statements of solidarity, as well as over 100 social movements and organizations. A delegation from Black Lives Matters in the U.S. and Canada traveled to the camp to support the cause. Something else very amazing has happened. Not only have the 7 tribes come together on Saturday, September 10th, 2016, for the first time in history, dozens of Native American tribe leaders joined together in a symbolic unification at this sacred stone camp in North Dakota. The police responded like bullies, raiding the Native people in the lines of solidarity that they formed for the thousands of people who have come together in complete peace, love, and solidarity. They set fires. They raided the camps of the Native people. They've set up blockades with their armored trucks and even entered into their homes and teepees, ripping them out, spraying them with tear gas, shooting them with rubber bullets, continuously using their 5-gallon bottles of pepper spray and beating them with their bully clubs, because they're nothing but big bullies themselves. They even shot a man and his horse, and the horse had to be put down. Even women and children are not excluded from the absolute brutality that is happening by the North Dakota police and the Dakota Access Pipeline Security. And your dear president acts like he cares about Native people. He don't care. They're here to defend the sacred, and they call themselves the water protectors, not protesters, not violent protesters as they are being accused of being. They are unarmed and here in complete solidarity by the thousands to help protect the water for all of us in humanity. After the 7 tribes came together in ceremony, Spirit made its presence very known. During an interview with a young man, hundreds of bison buffalo came out of nowhere, across the fields and across the area where they plan to put the Dakota Access Pipeline. Some naysayers say that horses brought in these buffalo and that they weren't wild, but the truth from this angle shows that there were no men on horses. None at all. And the police, well, they didn't know what to do or how to react. So they all jumped back in their vehicles and took off. I need not remind you that the bison buffalo is absolutely sacred to the Native Indians and all of the tribes of the Native Indians. In Native tradition, when the buffalo comes into awareness, it is a sign of great promise. It is also a true reminder of the greater whole. It's symbolic of strength, stability, consistency, and abundance, and a huge blessing from Spirit. Then there was this photo taken at Standing Rock above a teepee of the sun making a form of an angel. Let me show you that again. And that wasn't the only signs that showed up at Standing Rock Reservation thus far. There was also this, a golden eagle that flew down to the reservation and allowed people to gather around it, even allowing a few of the natives to touch the golden eagle. The golden eagle is one of the most sacred creatures to the native tribes. In some tribes, the eagle is a earthly incarnation of the great thunderbird spirit. The eagle also is symbolic to protection, control, freedom, community, action, authority, and determination. A determination that these folks at Standing Rock are certainly showing to all of humanity right now. And after all that, police stooped to a whole nother new low. Now they are targeting the medics at Standing Rock Reservation by marking their vehicles and marking their little carts that they drive around in and spraying them with tear gas, ripping them right out of their vehicles as their vehicles are still in drive, and arresting them so that therefore the people have no people to help them when they are injured. They have even went to the level of dressing up Dakota Access Pipeline security members as protester water protectors in clothing and bandanas over their face as this truck comes running up, jumping out of the vehicle, shooting shots into the air to make it look like these were protesters. When their tags were ran, we discovered that they were just a Dakota Access Pipeline security guard acting as a protester. And if that ain't disturbing enough, well, they are even using social media like Facebook to find out who are present at Standing Rock Reservation and targeting them specifically. So now that I have your full attention, let me please tell you how you can get involved and why this is so important to all of us and to all of humanity. Personally, I find it a little disturbing for those who know about this issue happening right now and are doing absolutely nothing to take a stand for Standing Rock. Even some of my own friends on Facebook and social media are not posting the same posts that I am about Standing Rock and what is happening with the water protectors. This makes me very sad. This makes me wonder whether or not these people really care about the future for their own children and grandchildren. For water is life, and without it, we are totally screwed. So why is this so important? Well, for starters, all of the native Indian prophecies have come into fruition except for the final two, and one of those final two are happening right now with the Black Snake prophecy. We do not want to see this succeed, for it will be the end of the world as we know it now. Since January 2015, there have been 54 pipeline accidents in the United States alone. At least 5 people were killed and 23 have been injured. And thousands of gallons of oil byproducts have been spilled into our waterways, desecrating Mother Nature. The occupation has united 60 tribes, the biggest native coalition in recent times. And even part of the Dakota Access Pipeline recently had an accident itself, along with a fire. That's not to mention many others, including in October on the 16th in Millsburg, PA. Authorities say about 1,000 gallons of oil spilled into the Susquehanna River into a nearby creek after a leak of the Millsburg tool manufacturer. There was another spill that occurred in Oklahoma less than 2 days after the incident in Pennsylvania, which resulted in 55 gallons of gasoline seeping into the Susquehanna River in Lancaster County. The 8-inch Sunoco pipeline began leaking in Gamble Township, Lycoming County, about 3:30 a.m. on Friday. Pennsylvania American Water warned customers to reduce water use as a leak threatened drinking water. Yes, as always, it affects our drinking water. And do you really think that they are able to get all that nasty crude oil out of our water? For goodness sakes, there's still millions of gallons of crude oil lying at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. So here's what you can do to get involved and stand as I stand for Standing Rock and the water protectors. The first thing that you can do is begin sharing all the posts and absorbing as much knowledge as possible as to what is happening right now in North Dakota at the Standing Rock Reservation with the water protectors who are protecting their water along with your water, along with sending the message to all of humanity that this nonsense with oil companies polluting our water must be stopped. If you have the resources to do so, you can go to Canyon, North Dakota, and stand tall with the water protectors at Standing Rock. You can call the White House at the number on the screen right now and insist that President Obama stops the DAPL, Dakota Access Pipeline. And if you can't get through, write him a letter. You can even do so on the White House website. You can call the Army Corps of Engineers at 202-761-5903. Call North Dakota Governor Jack, whatever his name is, at 701-328-2200. Call or email your congressional representatives and senators. Support the Sacred Stone Camp. Donate items at the website address up on your screen now. You can support the Sacred Stone Camp by donating items at their website. You can contribute to the Legal Defense Fund. Contribute to the GoFundMe page. You can tell the executives of the Energy Transfer Partners LP to stop building the pipeline. Their numbers are listed on your screen right now. Start or join events in your local area, and that website is also listed on your screen right now. Read, talk, post, tweet, get others to join in demanding that the Dakota Access Pipeline be stopped, Standing Rock Sioux be heard, and our treaties be honored. You can stop using products that use oil or that are made with oil and petroleum products. And finally, you can pull all your money out of the big banks and stop supporting the banks that are profiting and investing in these pipelines. Some of those banks are TD Bank, Wells Fargo Bank, and many others in which you can research. But stop putting your money in the big banks. Show them that you are not supporting them any longer. We must take a stand together, or the welfare of our children, grandchildren, and the future of our water is at great stakes right now, as is the future of all of humanity. I thank you so much for sharing this video with as many people as you possibly can and getting the message across and joining me in taking a stand for the water protectors at Standing Rock in Canyon, North Dakota. For I stand with Standing Rock. How about you?